Hi guys, it's tournament day at the Midsummer Classic. My tee time's at 8:56 a.m. this morning. So I'm gonna go to the range now and get started and warm up then. I'll speak to you guys after the tournament. Right, so I'm back home. Tournament is done. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the result I wanted today. Very disappointing result, but in my defense, the rain today was just absolutely horrible. Yeah, that was some of the worst weather that I've played tournament golf in, first of all. Some of the worst weather I've ever even played casual golf in. Any round of golf, that was some of the worst weather that I've ever played in. Just to give you an example, you know when the rain is so heavy that you see like a sheet of white or a sheet of gray right in front of you and it's pouring with rain? That's what I had to play through today. And that's exactly what I got on the first tee. And there were several instances on the course where the rain was so heavy I could barely even see the ball. And sometimes I couldn't even see the ball even with my glasses on because it was covered in rain and the rain was so heavy. So it was basically, if I were to sum up today, it was carnage and chaos. That's what the heavy rain caused. I'm happy with how I started the first two holes, considering I was quite nervous and quite tense. I started off with 2 pars on the first 2 holes, which was a much better start than last year. Last year I was very, very nervous the first two holes. Now that I think about it, my first tee shot last year, I was lucky it was a stroke play converted into a Stableford event, because I pole hooked my 3-wood off the first tee way left on the first hole. And I somehow, because it was a Stableford event, the worst score I could have made was a 6 on the first hole. And then I made a bogey on the next hole because I was still nervous and the nerves were still jangling around. This year I started off with 2 pars, and then things definitely got messy. Yeah, it wasn't that I hit that many bad shots, but I just had 3 to 5 holes where I just had like absolutely no luck and just terrible breaks. For one instance would be, I had a pitch shot 55 yards to the green on a par 3, and there were overhanging tree limbs, right? And I tried to hit a low pitch shot. It still caught the tree. There wasn't really much I could do about that. And then on that same hole, I hit a pitch shot. I tried to get it over the bunker, and it landed about 5 yards short. And just to give you an idea, during warm-up, before my round, the sand was so firm and so packed. It was so hard. It was like hitting out of concrete. It was like hitting out of mud, like hard packed mud. And somehow the ball shouldn't have plugged in the bunker, and yet it plugged right up against the lip. The ball, like, basically, if this was in my bag is like the edge of the bunker, it was plugged up right against the lip there. I had no shot whatsoever. So there were 3 or 5 holes that kind of set the tone for the day, and the fact that I just had no luck whatsoever, and I just couldn't catch a break on 3 to 5 of those holes. And I'll tell you one thing, it's not easy. It definitely isn't easy playing in such heavy rain, especially in a tournament. Because in a tournament, you're already very tense, very nervous, right? And playing in heavy rain in a tournament, you're having to focus like twice or 3 times harder than you already would have been doing. So mentally, I only lasted about like 13 holes, and then by the time I got to like hole 14 on the course, I was just so mentally exhausted and drained. I just couldn't keep my concentration there. So the last 5 holes, I tried to mount a fight. I tried to mount a comeback fight to try and salvage my round, but I just didn't have the mental strength or the mental energy. But having said that, there are quite a lot of positives to take from today's round. I did shoot 7 pars. 7 pars out of 18 holes, which I think that's the largest number of pars I've ever shot in a tournament round. 7 pars was no joke, and I think out of like the 18 holes I had today, I had 2 birdie chances, and those were unlucky. I gave it a good go, but the putts just didn't drop. I got a par for one of those and a bogey because my putter just gone like stone cold at that point during the round. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, the final score was 97, and I definitely felt I deserved more than 97 on that round there. I was playing with a Hong Kong team player, like a really good golfer, a 1 handicap. And there were a good 6 or 7 holes where I was able to match him, basically, or at least come very close to him. Like, I had a string of 4 or 5 pars in like a 6 or 7 hole stretch, something like that. Definitely 4 or 5 pars, like only 1 bogey through like 5 or 6 holes, and then the rest were all pars. That was when I mounted a comeback charge in the middle of my round there. And I was actually driving it great with the driver. I hit driver 3 times. I hit 2 really good drives. One was okay. It wasn't great, but I still managed to find the fairway. So the driver worked great. The mid irons and the short irons, they were on today when they were sharp. So I was happy with how I hit my mid and short irons, because I hit them like flush with my mid and short irons. The 2 iron, it was either hot and cold. It was hot and cold with the 2 iron. It was either going very well or it just really wasn't working for me. Same story with a 3-wood, but it was even more extreme. It was either like really good or it just didn't want to work with me at all. Putter, I mean, I was doing okay for the first half of the round, the first 12 holes actually. The putter was working fine. I was making like solid 2 putts, and then the last 6 holes, man, the putter just went stone cold. I had like close shaves, lip outs, putts that normally should have gone in, they just weren't going down. I mean, you could say that for most of today, but especially the last 6 holes, the putts just were not falling down. Like, I hit them pretty much perfect speed. I started on the right line. Putts that normally should go down, I calculated the break correctly as well. But for some reason, the putt, like, I don't know what happened, but the putts just didn't drop. I hit a lot of good putts today. They just didn't fall. But I guess that's golf for you, and it's not like I can control the weather. So having to play in basically torrential rain and still get 97, I definitely deserve a lot more than that. I actually did a quick projection, a quick calculation. If I'd taken out the 3 or 5 really bad holes where I just blew up, and then if I took away the last 5 holes as well, where I was just mentally completely drained and exhausted, I would have actually shot 80. Yeah, if I made the best use of my 7 pars I already had, I would have shot 80. So that just gives you an idea of what could have been today. Yeah, definitely a big story of what could have been, and just how big an influence the rain made and how mentally exhausting it was. It definitely cost me, yeah, a good 15 or maybe 20 strokes. And also, like, the mental lapses coming down the last 6 holes or so, that definitely didn't help. I tried my best to hang in there, but man, it is so tough. Just mentally draining, yeah. Yeah, just mentally draining. So tough to just even hang in there for the full 18 holes and just to keep my concentration through really heavy torrential rain. Sometimes you couldn't even see the ball. It was that bad. But I still hung in there. I still fought as best as I could. There was definitely some good golf. I even got praise from that one handicap golfer. He plays for the Hong Kong team. And there was definitely some high praise there, and it definitely wasn't through lack of ability, but sometimes I guess golf, you just get bad luck. You just get like crap luck sometimes, and I guess that's just how it goes. It's not through lack of ability, and I definitely feel that I have it in me to come close to, well, definitely mid 80s is where I should be. I feel I've got low 80s. I can knock on the door of trying to break 80 sometime soon, but definitely today it did expose some weaknesses in my golf bag, which I'll have a good think about, and I'll do a what's in the bag video of what I played with in the tournament, but expect some changes in my golf bag because there are a few weaknesses I do need to address, including like my bag setup and how I should set up my equipment. So yeah, disappointing today, but we come back to fight another day. Yeah, I mean, as disappointing as it is, I'm not too disheartened, and I can definitely take some positives out of it, like driving it well today with a driver. Driving it well was like a big plus, a big bonus for me today. Hitting my mid and short irons really flush. That some of them, I think my best iron shots, they got to around like 10 feet or so. So I gave myself some birdie chances there when they were really sharp and really on. So yeah, the mid and short irons, they definitely, when they worked, they were really on. And the putter, it was at least even at when it was working, at worst it was solid. May not have been spectacular, but it was solid, and I was happy with my putting, but my putting just went cold towards the end of the round. I have no idea why. I have no idea how. I'm not going to change this putter. This is still one of my favorite putters right now, this Scotty Cameron putter, but yeah, it just went cold. But I guess sometimes you just get crap luck. That's just golf. But there's a lot of positives to take from it. Just keep working hard and we'll come back to fight another day. We'll try again next time then. Oh yeah, just one more thing and some things to finish on. I actually played through today in the tournament with an injured left ankle. In a previous vlog from yesterday, on the 29th of June, I mentioned that I had three ligaments in my left ankle that were swollen. Yeah, I still had to play through that tournament today, even with crap weather and left ankle that was definitely less than ideal, with like swollen ligaments. The ankle injury, long story short, it basically came from a really serious ankle sprain that I had 11 years ago. But yeah, that story's for another time. But yeah, it definitely wasn't easy playing in today's heavy rain in such torrid conditions, and also playing through an injured left ankle. But at least I can be proud of what I did, and how I fought through it and how I fought back. Even when things weren't going well, I still tried to fight back as best as I could. So at least I can be proud of my attitude. I didn't give up there. And yeah, I could finally at least get a good rest now. Maybe I might go to the range once or twice, but for the most part, I should give myself time to heal my left ankle. So yeah, I guess there are some positives to take from it once I do look through and reflect deeper. But yeah, oh well, yeah, I'll definitely come back next time. We'll come back next time and we'll do a better job of it. The results will come. Okay, all right, yeah, see you guys next time then. See you guys in a later video. Bye guys.